Welcome back to the Short Ball Podcast, where this time we will be reviewing the Under-19s Women's Origin game. The other day I done the Under-19s Men's Origin review. Make sure you go check that out on YouTube. Make sure you go check out all the content I've done around this stuff on Instagram and TikTok. I plug those again at the end, where you can go find all the best content that you can find around junior footy. But yeah, the focus of this one's obviously going to be the Under-19s Women's Origin. We'll just go through the general game, a couple of talking points and a couple of plays in focus. This is mostly just going to be New South Wales stuff because there is not much to talk about from a Queensland perspective. This was domination from start to finish. For New South Wales, obviously the two that done the damage here were the halves, Evie McGrath and Casey Ray. They both Steelers players from that Tasha Gale undefeated season. They just combined super well. Casey's kicking game top notch. She was really good in this game, earned Player of the Match honours. Evie McGrath I thought was probably the next best, and that's huge from the two of them. And there were a lot of really just high quality players on the field for New South Wales. And honestly, the result took me by surprise a little bit. I thought Queensland had a really strong side on paper. Like, you obviously got NRLW experienced players there in that side for Queensland, especially like Ebony Armstrong-Smith. Montea Hudson's a really good footballer. Riley Jorgensen was originally in this side but got pulled out, and she was replaced by Shaylee Joseph, who's with the Cowboys. Like, this is a pretty handy side. But yeah, it was just New South Wales were just far better on the night. I thought, in terms of most impressive players, Evie McGrath, Casey Ray, obviously. I thought Manalita Takaportolo was really powerful as per usual. She was the standout in that City Origin game. She won Player of the Match in that game. She was really good again. I thought she had a couple of errors and gave away a couple of penalties, so still a lot to sort of improve on, but overall a pretty good game. I've got her stats up here: 12 runs, 129 metres, and 51 of those were post-contact. Just on the errors and penalties, 2 errors, 2 penalties, so that was the most of any New South Welshman. There was only 4 errors all up, which I think was the big difference in this game. Like, obviously it finished 46-4, right, for New South Wales. It was complete utter domination, and the error count was only 4 for New South Wales and 7 for Queensland, so that makes a huge difference. When you're completing your sets and getting a good kick on the end of them, like New South Wales were, they were just able to dominate from there. And even you look at the meterage, like the top couple of meter eaters for New South Wales, you got River Lee Arlo, Manalita Takaportolo, and Evie McGrath all ran for around that 130 odd. Indy Bostock run for 130. And then like the most for Queensland was the centre Mercedes Taulele Siala. 10 runs for 98 metres. That was their top for Queensland, and that just shows you how much sort of New South Wales dominated this game and were able to control the tempo and overall metres. I'll actually try and find that here. Overall metres made. So the back three, 240 metres compared to Queensland's 77. That is absolutely crazy. Just to look at that, in the forwards it was a little bit more balanced, but that back three comparison, gain line meters and then all run meters, 271 to 96, average set run distance 45 to 35, just complete and utter domination. Riverly Arlo, I spoke about her before. She was with Parramatta Tasha Gale. She impressed me a lot in each game that I watched her play, and she never really lifted her level or dropped below her level. She's just a really, really solid player who I think no matter what grade you'd put her in, she'd do the exact same thing, and that's just dominate the middle. Had 1 line break, 14 runs, 136 metres, 63 post-contact, and had that try towards the end of the game off the back of broken play. I think it was Evie McGrath and Tia Jordan-Vasilevsky that combined on a line break on the left side of the field, and then River Arlo finished on the right side, just powering through the line. So that was a really good performance from her. She was second in the run meters behind Indy Bostock. This back five for New South Wales were absolutely super. Lillian White, we all know what she can do. She's a really talented player. Didn't have a huge game here, but you know, it's not just about the stats for her. I think her defensive plays are huge. In my opinion, she's come up with a heap of huge plays for the Knights. And Tasha Gale, I think she's on a development contract for the Knights, so you might not see her at NRLW this year, but she'll be not too far away, I think. I think she's a really well-rounded player on both sides of the ball. Tia Jordan-Vasilevsky, she's with the Sharks, usually a fullback, placed out in the wing, and I was surprised to look at the fact that she only had 5 runs all game, because every single time she touched the ball, she looked electric. And obviously that proofs in the pudding. 2 line breaks, 115 run meters, 10 tackle breaks from 5 runs. That's 2 tackle breaks per carry. Absolute insanity from Vasilevsky there. Indy Bostock, 138 meters. Talked about her before. Her try was absolutely electric on the right edge. Got it about 30 meters out. And you look at her resume that she's putting up now. Really good tries in the Tasha Gale Grand Final. I think she scored 11 tries in 9 games during that season prior to that Grand Final. And then her try in City Country, electric. And then her try here as well. Like, she's super quick. And she got through a fair bit of work here too. 9 runs, which isn't anything crazy, but 138 meters. Like, it was all quality stuff. 1 line break, 4 tackle breaks. I don't think she made any errors, or not off the top of my head anyway. So really good performance there from Bostock. She's going to be a really good player, I think. Lindsay Tui and Maria Paseka, the other 2 in the back 5. Really solid performances. Lindsay Tui was good, but then obviously went off. I think she's fractured her jaw. Might be out for a little while. Not completely sure how long she'll be out, but she looked really good while she was on. She's with Parramatta. A really high-level player there. Her try was pretty good in the corner off the short dropout. Just it was pretty poor defence from Queensland, but the awareness to sort of duck down that short side, not short side, but duck down a little bit of a 5-metre gap in space. It was a good try there in the corner for Lindsay. And then Maria Paseka as well. She had herself a try, 76 run meters, 1 line break. Really solid performance as well. She was another one from that Illawarra Steelers side that went undefeated, and that's majority of this side. And I think that was maybe the difference as well in the end, is these girls have all played together, or a lot of them at least. Obviously the halves pairing, Indy and Maria Paseka, all played together. Chelsea Seville, Hope Millard, Charlotte Basham, Ella Costa, Bronte Wilson, all played together for Tasha Gale, which, when you got a team that is that dominant, why not? Just a little bit down the line, Chelsea Seville, I thought she was really good. She obviously played 40 minutes in that hooking role, had a try, goal kicked as well, but I thought she done her job really nicely. Just gave Evie McGrath and Casey Ray really good ball, and obviously had that try as well, which was nice. It was pretty much a feast. Everyone was getting their chance to score tries at some stage. I think nobody scored a double. I think it was 8 different try scorers for them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 different try scorers out of the 17. Absolutely crazy. Eva McEwen, she was really good again. She just showed how dominant she can be whenever she wants the ball and wants to make an impact on the game. She will. A little bit of David Fafita in that sense, where she can just break open the defensive line at will. This try was a little bit softer than most tries. I think the Queensland defence was pretty poor, in all honesty, across the board, but I can't take away from New South Wales. They dominated the game. They earned the right to play footy, and the defence sort of fell off because of the efforts that New South Wales put in to control that middle. So you can't take anything away from at all. She played, Eva McEwen played 60 minutes in the back row, 1 try, 97 run meters from 8 carries, 1 line break, 7 tackle breaks. That's a really good performance there. 13 tackles, the 1 missed. Charlotte Basham, I think she's a pretty good workhorse there. 27 tackles, 1 missed. I thought she was pretty good. Didn't have too many carries, just a 7 for 59 meters. I didn't think she did a whole lot in attack, just eye test wise, but defensively, I thought she was really, really solid. And then the bench, there's not too much to say about the bench. It was only limited minutes between them. Ella Costa's the only one that got big minutes. She's obviously another one of those Steelers girls. Claudia Brown, she only played 23 minutes, but every single time I've watched her, I've been impressed. She played for the Tigers in Tasha Gao earlier this year, and she was playing as the 13, and she was just, her tackle tech was unreal in that first game that I watched her play. I think it was against the Bears, but I didn't really pay too much mind to it. I thought, yeah, she's a good footballer, but she's playing for the Tigers who are struggling. It was against the Bears who were also struggling, but then she got picked for City Country, and then I realised, yeah, she's the real deal. And here again, 8 runs, 86 carries. She didn't make too many tackles, but that's what really impressed me the first time I watched her. But yeah, that 8 runs, 86 carries in just 23 minutes. She looks like a good footballer as well. That's about it for New South Wales. Covered most of it. Yeah, they just dominated the middle. It was really good performance from them. And yeah, a lot of the girls stood up. Like, there's not much to say about this game apart from that. Like, just absolute domination, which you don't really see in Origin all that much. But 46-4 is a crazy score, and I think it broke a record for the most, or the biggest win or most points, something like that scored. I'll have to fact check that, but or exactly what the stat was. But yeah, it was absolutely huge and a dominant performance. Over to Queensland now. Something that I found interesting was the fact that Malayla Sua only got 6 minutes. Something must have went wrong there. Just looking at the stat sheet there, I didn't really notice it come on, but I thought she was really good in this game last year. It looked impressive. Might have been injured or something like that, but yeah, maybe that's something to do with it. Their middle rotation's a little bit stuffed up. Obviously, no Riley Jorgensen as well, who they would have liked to have. Yeah, you can't. I find it hard to have any positives in a game like that. I guess their edges. That ball that I think it was Caitlin Tanner threw to Ebony Rushton-Smith. Actually, no, Skylar Adams that she threw to Ebony Rushton-Smith was really good. I thought she looked solid while the game was still in the balance. Caitlin Tanner looked like a good footballer as well, but didn't really do too much tonight. Montea Hudson, I thought she had a bit of a tough game. She really tried her hardest to the end, but she had a couple of dodgy defensive plays, letting that ball bounce and then passing inside of her own in goal. 3 runs, 1 run meter. Bit of a tough game. I do think she's a pretty good footballer though. Liked what she did with the North Devils in BMD Premiership, and I think she'll take plenty of improvement out of that, despite having a little bit of a tough performance. The edges for Queensland, I thought, were their standouts. Kiara, apologies for the pronunciation on this name, but Sioane, I'm going to say. I thought she looked pretty solid on the edge. Obviously, Mercedes, we talked about her before, topped their run meter count. Had a line break, 2 tackle breaks. Ebony Rushton-Smith, she played in this game last year. Looked quite good in that game last year, but tough to look good in this one, 46-4. Really, it was just a struggle for Queensland as a whole. Regan Hicks, solid. But yeah, tough night in the office for the Maroons, and just in a 46-4 smacking, it's hard to look good if you're on the opposing side, and it's really easy to look good when you're in the winning side in this game. So not too much to take out of it, but there is a lot of players that you can follow out of this who I think will have NRLW careers, and I got a sort of theory that I'm thinking of with this women's game. You're gonna start to see a lot of these girls take over soon because they've been playing since under fives, or they've had the same development, not exactly the same, but similar to what the boys have had now. They're able to develop into athletes, develop into footballers, since they were young, which is just an opportunity that the older NRLW girls just did not have to this extent. So I think a lot of these girls might be stars in the NRLW in the very near future, and you'll only see that become more and more of a thing as sort of the next gen taking over, and that's natural with any sport that's growing. And with women's sports, because it's obviously ever growing and ever changing, there's a world where the NRLW is majority under 21s soon, just because of these freak athletes coming in and being the new generation. And that's what you're starting to see here, like the likes of Indy Bostock, who's just absolutely unreal speed, like speed kills. And when you've got a girl that is that quick, she's going to dominate, and she's going to get a chance. Casey Ray's kicking game, like that's next generation sort of stuff. Like the kick that she put in, most NRLW players on it, the kick that she put in to force a dropout, I think it was from the 50-metre mark. And it was before Lindsay Tui's try. Like most NRLW stars aren't pulling off stuff like that. So I think those sorts of girls, they can make an impact really, really soon. And you're starting to see, like I make the comparison to the WNBA, all the stars or all the girls that are making headlines over there or that are attracting the audiences, your Caitlin Clarks, Angel Reese's, all those sorts of girls who are fresh out of college. And because there's an uptick in skill, naturally as the game gets more money into it and development becomes more of a priority, you're going to start to see these young girls take over and become the stars. So yeah, that's my theory around this, and this is a good showcase for it, and it'll only improve. It will only improve, which will be good to see. And this New South Wales side, absolutely star-studded, dominant performance from them. Make sure you go follow me on TikTok at the shortball._, and on Instagram at the shortball_. All my best content's over there. I've done a couple of deep dives into a lot of juniors players and juniors teams, and I cover a lot of content over there. So make sure you go follow me on those platforms. All the best stuff over there. I will be continuing to do stuff on YouTube pretty regularly. I've got a couple of exciting new content pieces coming up. Just a teaser, 1st of August, my NRL draft, mock draft, will be coming out. That's something that I'm going to be doing yearly with a good friend of mine, Luke Britton Creative. We done it last year. He's under the name LJ Rugby League, but he's a really good graphic designer. Make sure you go check him out. And next month, or 1st of August, I think we're going to just do it on the 1st of August every year. That's when we done it last year. So that's when I'm looking to post this year. So make sure you go check all that sort of stuff out. I'm really excited to see how that goes.